Have you ever wondered what it actually takes to run a seven-figure online business? Today, we're going to walk you through all the programs that we use to make money every day.
Now give it to me. Oh yeah.
So it's obviously no surprise that we are not the type of female entrepreneur that one might often see on Instagram, like the Layla Hormozis and who else? I always think of her first because she's so polished.
Yeah, I think of Amy Porterfield's, Jenna Kutcher's, even Maria Wentz.
So perfect and put together all the time. And Jenna Kutcher's she's a bit more.
She strikes me as very authentic.
Yeah, she's very authentic. She's like very laid back, but we're in our t-shirts 99.9% of the time and may or may not have makeup on.
In our face band-aids.
We never have makeup on. I didn't even wear makeup for this podcast, this episode.
Stop bragging. She's like, my skin looks so good that I don't even need makeup.
I'm not even about to tip my chin up and let you see the cysts that have developed right along here.
Meanwhile, I carefully applied my makeup around my face band-aids today.
But no, it's kind of, I think that people will see us sometimes and they hear that we run, a 7-figure online business, but then they look at us and they're like, are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Well, because one, that's just not who we are. And two, if we tried to fake it, it would come off as so fake and inauthentic. They'd be like, we know you live in Comfort Colors t-shirts. Don't even try.
I actually emailed Fabletics. I don't know if y'all saw that email, but I emailed Fabletics to see if they wanted to be a sponsor for the podcast because I was like, look, we started our business in oversized comfort colored t-shirts and Fabletics leggings, and we still run our business like that. And so I think it'd be really fitting if y'all want to be a sponsor for our podcast. Haven't gotten a response yet, but I'm definitely going to follow up.
I'm sure they're just like taking their time to see how much they could put aside for us.
Kate Hudson is like, oh, another one.
I'm sure Kate Hudson is personally picking out our outfits right now.
I know she's reading my email and being like, wow.
I know. She's like, they are great.
I love that for them. But no, so, and actually something that I've struggled with quite a bit in the last 6 months, 6 to 8 months, is my own imposter syndrome, my own limiting belief, because I follow those people. I follow the Jenna Kutchers, Amy Porterfields, Maria Wentz, and I know that I don't look like them. I also know that I don't want necessarily to look like them. Like I am so happy living on our family compound, working outside every day in the yard while the kids are just wild animals, and I'm comfortable wearing t-shirts and leggings. That's what I want to wear. And so sometimes I do have, especially when you see like Layla Hormozi, I have these limiting beliefs. It's like, and can I really be as successful as them if I don't look like them?
Well, it's not even just how we look, it's how we operate, because you kind of look at them and you're like, oof, they got it together. They've got this big old team. They're just super organized. They've got it all together. And meanwhile, when you look at both of our laptops, we have like so many tabs open.
Yeah, I have like 50 emotional support tabs.
You have more than I do
at all times.
Yeah. And the way that we kind of run things is, how, what we talked about in the previous episode, and we fit it to our lives. And that doesn't always look like an entrepreneur. And I think it's like we get worried sometimes that people look at the way that we do things, which is very authentic to who we are and how our brains work. And we're like, well, maybe they don't think that we are or on a certain level because we don't operate on this very corporate level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, our days are very, we have really designed our business to work around our lives. And that is ultimately what we wanted. So I still have these big dreams. I have these big goals for the business. And so I do kind of find myself falling in that comparison trap when I see other creators who have done, tens of millions of dollars or are on their way to do that, but they have very time blocked schedules. They look very professional. They look very polished. And so sometimes I wonder, like, is that what I have to do to hit these goals? Like, do I have to have somebody do my hair for me do I have to have somebody like grocery shop for me? Because that's just not the reality. That's not
And
what I want.
it's not what we want. And we had talked about on the previous episode too, kind of like what our day looks like a little bit, but like last week in this summer, and we're going to be doing this a lot more, is our day is like we sometimes just take the kids to Urban Air, the local trampoline park, and let them run feral, and we just bring our laptops and jam out to their playlist and get a lot of work done. And that for us works really, really well. Like it does not have to look like us sitting in like team meetings that are super like organized, or it's on the Outlook calendar, or we talked about this in Slack and now we're meeting. It's not like that. And I think it's also because we have figured out how to streamline our business too, and the systems that we're using, so that it does not have to be super complicated. You know what I mean?
But I think that's what we want everyone to know is like, if we're thinking like that, then we know a lot of other people are thinking like
Yeah.
that. Like they look at other really polished business owners and they're like, is it even really possible? But we're telling you that it is, that you can have your days built just like us and go to Urban Air or sit outside and watch your kids play and still have a really successful business. And so that was the whole purpose of this episode, was to tell you exactly what we do during the day and what we use to run our business so that you can see how realistic those goals really are.
Because I know people are wondering, because I do. Whenever I see other like more successful people than us, I'm like, I want to know what their day to day actually looks like. Like, what are they doing throughout the day?
Yeah. And to be fair, some of them do have big teams who are doing it for them, but that's not where anyone is going to start. And so we have kept it pretty minimalistic, and we are still using the obtainable apps and websites that everyone can use to run their business and scale and make a lot of money. And so we're going to walk you through like what we have used, what we're using now, and what we think you should use at what point in your business.
Yeah. And so you know, there are only 4 people who kind of run this business. It's the 3 of us, me, Paige, and Jane. And then we have a developer. His name is Zane. He is outsourced. He's overseas. And he helps us do like some really nitty gritty technical stuff when we kind of have issues, because we realize that he is just much more advanced. He's better at this.
He's
been
efficient.
He's so efficient. He's been with us for a year and a half. And he kind of knows the inner workings of our business. He doesn't necessarily work for us full time, but
He's
every
so
day,
patient with us.
and he's so patient.
Shout out Zane.
we
His
love
wife
Zane.
is probably just as patient with us.
Yeah,
Probably.
100%.
He is.
She's probably like,
"Oh, they're
who are
messaging
these
you again?"
girls you work for?
These
And he's like, I don't know.
darn American ladies.
Yeah.
God bless them. They try.
Yeah. But we operate our business with 4 people, and Paige, Jane, and I each, while we work on projects together, we each have kind of designated responsibilities and roles. And we kind of like, Jane is managing the podcast. She makes sure that all of the podcast content is out. She also manages our back end. She's what we call our ops manager. And she kind of makes sure that everything runs smoothly. She manages topics for the podcast and also makes sure that we stay on topic and actually get stuff done.
Yeah.
She's like, have y'all done this yet? Have you done this yet? And she lives
need
like
that.
15, 20 minutes away from us. So during the day, she'll come over to our house, and we usually work on the couch.
Yeah.
And the kids are running in and out of the house. We're between my couch, Paige's couch, and our office. And that's just kind of what we do. We bebop around. We go steal sodas from each other's houses and like, hey, do you have any sandwich stuff for today? Because I'm hungry. But that's what our day-to-day work looks like, unless we're recording for the podcast, which we do every 2 weeks in San Antonio.
And then unless we come here.
That's our day-to-day. Like, it's in some days, like, our goal is to run this business so well and efficiently that we can wake up in the mornings, check our emails if you want to, and be like, you want to go walk around Target today? And we're like, yeah, meet you there. That's what we want. We want to go walk around Target and TJ Maxx and Home Goods and just spend our days doing that. And that's what we do a lot of the time.
Yeah. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. Like, as far as our, on average, like, that is what our week is.
That's exactly what our week is.
Unless you're out of town, or unless we have like a million appointments.
Yeah. And we're typically done working. Like, we start work around like 9:30, 10. We're done by 3 at the latest. And then we just spend time outside. But like we mentioned in our last episode, we do deep work where Paige and I are sitting in the chairs, sometimes Jane, and the kids are running around and we're talking business while the kids are grabbing snacks out of our hands and stealing our water cups. But your business can look like, if you started this business, you did it because you want to live a certain lifestyle. And what we want you to know is that you can run a successful business around your life and not vice versa. And So I just think that there's a lot of imposter syndrome floating around, and I want to kind of squish that and
But
show you what it's like realistically for us.
we also we want to share what we use because we have gone through using a really complicated like tech stack, and it made us hate our lives for a little while because it's just so complicated and there was so much to juggle. And we have tried so many different routes, and now we are on the most like streamlined, focus, minimalistic, like app stack, tech stack, whatever you want to call it. And it does everything that we need. It's really simple. And there's different levels, and you don't have to use what we use. You don't have to use what, your friend is using. It doesn't matter. Like there's so many options. So we were kind of going to go over what we use so you can be like, oh, okay, that seems realistic. I want to try that. And just to give yourself some options. Like we're not using 1,000,001 different things anymore.
We were, because we felt like we had to have a program for every problem that we needed a solution to. And so that's what we did. We were signing up for programs like crazy because we thought that we were doing
a ton
Yeah.
monthly in different apps and
Subscriptions.
programs
Well,
and
let's
subscriptions.
start from the beginning.
Okay,
of
so
history.
I was gonna ask you, let's start from the beginning and then we'll work our way up to what we're using now.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also do want to mention, oh man, I lost my train of thought.
Happens.
It was going to be a good one
It's
too.
the worst.
It was going to be
It'll
really
come
good.
It was
back.
gone like a blink of an eye. So the first program that we ever used, the first app, it was actually the first one we ever used was Facebook. That was our very first platform that we used for our community. And we quickly realized it wasn't what we wanted. There was just some hoops to jump through when it comes to like subscription costs and things like that. We just didn't love Facebook. And then we moved on to Mighty Networks. And Mighty Networks was actually great. It's a little clunky, and there was certain limitations that we couldn't get around. Like for courses, it's just not really built for course material. It's built more for a community. And then
But if you had just a community, Mighty is good for a community.
it is good for a community, but
But it was hard. It was kind of like a robot being pieced together.
it
was like
wasn't
Legos that were hard to put together.
it wasn't really that. It's just that it wasn't really built out for digital product sellers. Like it was mostly
Okay, that's fair. That's
yeah.
good for people to know.
It's great if you only want to have a singular paid community and you're not trying to sell other digital products with it.
Okay.
That's where
Like our Beetle person we talked about.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You had a Beetle club.
If
Yeah.
you know, you know. If you
Beetle
don't
talk.
know, go listen to the other episodes.
Yeah, but not if you're going to sell anything additional with it.
Correct.
All
So
right.
that was our roadblock. And so when we were trying to sell other digital products with Mighty Networks, we were having to create separate spaces where we could do that and then do this like whole Frankenstein situation and knit them together, and it was messy. And then we had the grand idea to build our own platform.
Which we used Bubble and a ton of different developers.
100% do not recommend.
Agencies. I don't even know why I've never heard of anybody else considering this. So I don't even know why in our heads we thought this was a good idea.
That's exactly why we thought it was a good idea, because nobody else was doing it. And we were like, wow.
Well, our goal was
We're so
Revolutionary.
Yeah.
innovative.
our goal was to white label it. So our
Yeah.
goal was to build it out, make it exactly what we want, and then white label it. But the effort and the money that went into that
And the time.
was just wild. And we quickly realized that there was too much competition in the space already for something like that. And
Other people had already done it so well.
that was an episode of our business where we were what was it? Reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, we were 100% reinventing the wheel and spending so much money to do it. And then we actually were in it so far that we're like, wow, we are going to be stuck with this clunky platform forever. And then we started looking into other options because it was just one of those things where, we're trying to get the most from our money, and that was not making us enough money for what it was worth. And so then we moved into what was next?
Kajabi.
We tried Kajabi for a minute. We never even moved anybody over there because I forgot what the issue was.
We
with
had
that.
a lot of issues.
But
There's a lot of issues.
Let's talk about Kajabi though.
Yeah,
So
Kajabi's great.
Here's the reason that we want to even go through this, because that was like a history lesson in the programs that we've used. The reason that we want to talk about this is because every course that you purchase is going to tell you which program to use, or they're going to give you a bunch of tutorials for every program that's available that will help you sell your digital products.
Mhm.
We've been through almost all of them, all the major ones
many.
anyway. So we can tell you exactly which ones we like the best, why, and which ones we think you should use based on where you're at in your business growth. Um, the one of the three most popular online programs that we have seen are Standstore, School, and Kajabi. Now we've used all of those, and for different things. This is not all for our business. I've been in Kajabi for a lot longer and more in depth, and I actually really like Kajabi. Standstore is phenomenal if you are just dipping your toes into the digital product space. You have a very small community. You don't want a whole lot of complicated stuff. You want to streamline your process and really learn the fundamentals of starting your business. I love Standstore. We love Standstore. We know the people behind the community. We've spent time with them, like days and nights with them, multiple events. I love that company and I love the product. We're not using Standstore anymore because we've kind of outgrown it. And I do know a lot of creators who are still running 7-figure businesses on Standstore, but we have wanted to prioritize different things, different sales strategies, and Stan wasn't quite built for that. I think that they're working toward it, but they weren't working toward it fast enough for us. So
But Stan is great for the people who are in their first year of business, who are focusing on one problem, one product, one platform. It's perfect for that. It's when you start moving into the advanced sales strategies like we're using that you end up needing to graduate from that a little bit.
But Standstore does offer like an email automation,
It's an all-in-one solution.
an all-in-one solution where you can you can host multiple products. You can even like host a community in it.
Community,
They're-
webinars,
one-on-one coaching.
courses.
Right, one-on-one coaching. It is a really great very first year step.
And it's super cost effective. It's only $99 a month, like at the very most, unlimited emails. Like it's an amazing product.
And it's exactly what we started with and used and love.
yeah,
Yeah.
we love Stan. We'll never not recommend Stan for new people.
no, I still love it and I still love the ease of it. And it's just really easy to navigate, especially as you're learning so many new things at one time.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you want a more advanced strategy, a little bit more advanced tech stack, and you really want to prioritize sales strategy, I definitely recommend Samcart and Kajabi. Kajabi does all of the same things as Standstore. It hosts your digital products, it hosts your courses, but it integrates with Standstore, which is a payment processor that's still
Samcart.
I'm sorry, Samcart, which is a payment processor, and it integrates with your Stripe account. So everything is still, all of these platforms are still connected to your Stripe account, which is where you actually collect the payments and then issue them to your bank. But Samcart is where you can build these really detailed funnels and capture order bumps, upsells. You can have multiple upsells. I really loved Samcart when we were using it, and I still stand by that. Kajabi does have this all-in-one payment program now that they've recently released, but it still does not perform quite as well as Samcart. And I think it's called Kajabi Pay or something like that, where you're supposed to be able to build funnels. But I still recommend going with Samcart and Kajabi. And again, this is a little bit more of an advanced strategy, still really simple to use, but it's going to allow you to collect more money per transaction if you set it up the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked with Samcart for months, and I absolutely loved it. I built tons of funnels in Samcart. It performed extremely well, and it increases your AOV, which is your average order value, if you build a product funnel around each individual product. And this is an advanced strategy. We're going to have a course on this in the near future because it's extremely useful.
I would say
Right.
though that like the Kajabi Samcart combination would be for people who are already making somewhat consistent sales every month.
I would say probably 5 to 10K a month.
Yeah, I would probably say that too.
It's for the business owner who is seeing success and is looking to scale.
Yes.
Up until that point, you can be using Standstore.
Absolutely.
And I actually recommend it. And once, because it's gonna help you hone in those skills, like we've said before. And then when you're ready to scale and you're really confident in your own strategy and your messaging and everything like that, and everything is working so far, then you can scale onto those bigger platforms like Kajabi and Samcart.
Yeah. And what we're talking about is hosting your actual digital products and your community. The tricky part is if you're going to have a community, you need to plan ahead a little bit because moving your paying community members from one platform to another one is a mess.
It's not fun.
It is not easy. It is not smooth. It is not fun, no matter what you do. So if you plan on having a community and if you have a general timeline around a paying community, plan ahead and try to anticipate where you might want to be in the next 6 months, in the next year, so you don't have to go through the struggles that we did. So like if you're just starting with digital products and you're on Stan, awesome. But if you start making some money and you realize you do want to have a paying community, migrate over to Kajabi and Samcart before you start your community, and then host your community in Kajabi, because Kajabi is great for a community. Um, and that way you don't have the headache of moving 50 to 100 plus members.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a migraine.
Yeah. Also, move to Kajabi before you're too large. Like we moved probably a little too late. And then when having to warm up your email list is a real pain.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. But so move before, like don't hesitate. Like don't wait.
We
Yeah.
were having to move over 40,000 email subscribers,
Which is a lot.
which is a lot. And it's a bit trickier to move that many subscribers over to a new email platform.
So we had lots of issues that most people won't have
Right.
with Kajabi, because we were trying to move over and warm up an established list of 40K subs. We had a lot of issues, and Kajabi. One thing that it's like a red mark against Kajabi is their customer support. It's
Yeah.
extremely
Yeah.
poor,
Yeah.
and you cannot get a hold of a person if you need any help. The good thing is that Kajabi is so easy to use and there's so many tutorials that you typically don't need customer support.
Yeah.
But in the event that you do, good luck getting it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Honestly, I think that's the only strike against them.
I mean, it's a big one,
Yeah.
but it
But they're
is
they're
the only
very
one.
well established. They've been around for a really long time. So there is so many resources already, like for tutorials. So as long as you take your time and you just follow the instructions like as they say to do it, you'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. Since then, because after the issues with Kajabi, we were like, it's not worth it. We cannot do this again. We found
Have to have
our
customer
last
service.
solution. And I don't anticipate us going anywhere because
No.
what we are on now kind of encompasses everything.
Mhm.
However, it is much more advanced. It is much more of a learning curve. And
It is not
there-
beginner friendly whatsoever.
it is not beginner friendly. No, the only reason that we're not pulling our hair out is because we've already been through a stack of other programs.
We know what to ask. We know how to get to people. We know how to we're not even playing around.
And
We're,
we actually have someone like directly helping us. So
yeah.
Right. So it's much different. But what we're with now is Course Creator 360. And what this really is a white labeled Go High Level or High Level. So people took the high level platform, they built their own version of it based on like the Go High Level interface.
which is complicated.
Very complicated. And then we pay monthly for our Course Creator 360 subscription. But it hosts our products, our community. It does all of the same funnel building that Samcart does,
Websites.
website. It does
Online stores, if you have
everything.
e-commerce, it can keep track of your social media stats. Anything that you have ever thought a business should do, it does.
course.
And they have incredible customer service.
They really do.
Really, really great. And you can even hire Course Creator 360 experts to help you with very specific technical issues if you run into it, which we have. And it was like $50. It was like super cheap to have somebody help us get our email list warmed up.
Well, when you sign up for Course Creator, they require you to meet with someone one-on-one, which is what I did. And they make sure that your domain is properly attached because that can be tricky for people to figure out on their own. And they're like, we just took that part out of it and we do it for you because it takes us like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so they've been amazing. I have a phone number that I can text anytime.
Yeah. That's super convenient.
Yeah.
So to recap that, as a beginner, Stan Store for sure.
100%.
All day, every day. Then if you're scaling, we would go Kajabi and Samcart. And then if you're really, really scaling and you feel like getting to the nitty gritty, Course Creator 360 is like an all-in-one, does literally everything for you.
Well, the reason we liked Course Creator 360 too is like it was one payment. It was one payment
Mhm.
and it has everything that we need. So to host our entire business, we're using Course Creator 360 and then ManyChat.
And it's Course Creator 360 for everything that you get is extremely affordable.
Extremely
We're paying
affordable.
less than what we were paying for just our solo email provider alone.
Yeah. And another one that
Yes.
I meant to mention is School. Alex Hormozy now owns School and he did
Mhm.
that like I think a year ago. So
I didn't realize that.
he's been really pushing the growth of that program, and School is really great too. It is more community centric. So you can sell digital products and courses with it, but its main focus is for a paid community or like membership program.
Mhm.
And it's phenomenal. Like it's a really great program. It's fairly easy to use. I would still think that Kajabi and Samcart is easier. Even integrating two programs, it's easier to me, in my opinion.
School is great if you it just like with what we used first. What was it? What was the first one that we used?
Mighty?
Mighty. Just like Mighty Networks, they're both solely focused on the community. And Mighty is way down here in comparison to School, because School, if your focus is community, you want to put a lot into it, and they have the gamification, so people in the community
yeah.
can earn points and they can unlock stuff, and it's really cool.
Kajabi has that too, though.
Yeah, Kajabi also has that, and it's so it really just comes down to what you are selling. And if you are just community based, School is amazing. It's perfect for that. But if you are looking to sell other digital products, Kajabi is Stand Store. The jump, it would be from Stand Store to Kajabi.
But you could also scale with Kajabi and Samcart like wild. There are creators
Yeah.
that I know who are doing 900 a month, almost $1 million a month, and they're using Samcart and Kajabi. So
Yeah.
You don't
you
have
can-
to move on from
you don't have to
Samcart
move
and
on from
Kajabi.
that. The only reason we did is because we were so tired of having like a heavy tech stack and using too many. It was constantly like, wait, what's my login for this one? What's my login for this one? It was like, I'm done with this. We just
Mhm.
want it all in one thing. And we have had some experience with high level before.
Yeah.
And so for us, this was it. Like this was a phenomenal transition and very seamless. And so I really love it. I love the emails.
That was a preference.
And it did save us a lot of money.
It did.
Yeah.
It definitely did. But if we weren't looking for this like all-in-one solution, and if we hadn't had the issues with Kajabi, we would still be with Kajabi and Samcart.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a couple other apps that we've used too.
Yeah.
I think that are worth sharing. Like for instance, our communication channel that we use is Slack. You've probably heard us mention that a few times already.
I think a lot of people use Slack
Yeah.
nowadays.
A lot of people use Slack. So it's probably something you've heard of before, but it is just how we all talk to each other. We talk to Zane through there. You can also use Slack to set up like alerts. So anytime that you get a sale, it'll notify Slack and it'll notify you. And so Slack is really awesome if you are outsourcing anything or you've anybody else on your team besides yourself. So, but you don't really need it if it's just a one-man show.
No, if it's just you and even like one employee, you don't really need Slack. You
No.
can just text.
You
or
don't really
something.
even need Slack if everyone's in the same country. Like, let's be honest.
Probably
A lot of people do use it. A lot of companies use it, but I think people like it because it's like an instant message.
Yeah, it's like Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
Right. It's like Teams.
Mm-hmm.
But we have had quite a few people on our team or who have worked for us at one point or the other in like other areas of the world.
Yeah.
And it like helps keep up with the different time zones and what it'll like tell us where they are, if they're sleeping,
online,
if they're online, offline. Right. And so it was really convenient for us and we still use it.
Yeah.
We definitely do. Other than Slack, we use Outlook for emails back
For
and
regular
forth to
emails.
reach out to people. And what was the other one I was going to say?
We-
Automations. So the
Oh,
big
yeah.
automation program is Zapier. That's the one like everybody talks about. Zapier is also really expensive.
Insanely expensive.
More-
It's a what's it called? Bait and whatever.
Bait and switch?
Bait and switch. That's what
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bait and switch because they get you because they start off with one zap being so low. But what people don't understand is the zaps don't go very far.
Yeah.
And then the price per package, because you can't just like buy what you need. It's like a package jump.
Yeah.
And the price increase is just like, it feels like highway robbery. It's ridiculous.
Zapier is the most expensive program we've ever paid for.
Yeah, I
And
think
if you
so.
if you run out of zaps, it just refuses to send your email. So like even when the problem is when people would buy products or they would join Creator Club or buy Creator Bot, whatever it may have been, then if we ran out of zaps, they just didn't receive their products. And so then we would have to pay for the larger package and then Zapier would take a bit to add more zaps to our account.
Yeah, it was a mess.
And then people were like, where's our stuff? And we were like, we're so sorry. We're trying to get it to you. And then sometimes it wouldn't like go back all the way and send all of the
Yes.
emails from like whoever bought during the loss of zaps.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mess.
For those of you who don't know, Zapier and other automation tools like this are used if you are needing to integrate two different programs. So none of the programs that we were using at the time had a native integration. So Zapier is this third party that just links two programs together and makes them communicate with each other.
Yeah.
So if somebody bought something from our platform, the Zap or the integration would tell the other platform to do an action, like send the email to them with what they bought. And so, yeah, as soon as you run out of Zaps, the people just stop talking to each other. And so that was insanely expensive. And we're like, we have got to find an alternative. And that's when we did a lot of research, Zane and I, and we ended up going with Make, which is not as well known, but it does the exact same thing for like a fraction of the cost.
And in fact, it does more.
It
And
does
the
more.
workflows are more customizable.
It's more customizable. You get more you get more automations per dollar. And it's incredible. Not as many people talk about Make, or I don't
No.
even know anybody else that has mentioned it. I was like, this looks good. Let's try this out, Zane. And he was like, cool, let's do it. And now that's all we use for automations.
Yeah. And same with Course Creator 360. I don't hear many people talking about it, but it's actually a really great program.
It's fairly new. But the beauty of it, and this was my pros and cons when I was researching Course Creator, was the pro was that in it being new was that you get a new program, you're going to get a lot more customer service. You're going to get a lot more attention because they want to make sure that their program is working well. The con of it being new is that it's not as time tested. But we have had zero issues with if we have had any road bumps, a person has been able to help us fix it.
Yeah. It's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
So other than that, the only other program we really use is ManyChat for like DM automation.
Yeah.
And we went from so many programs, listeners are probably like, I would never do that. It's really, really great.
We like to learn the hard way.
We were extra dumb. And
Yeah.
we were like, let's make this as hard as possible. How many programs can we pay for? And we thought that was the solution. So it's not. The solution is fewer, simpler programs.
Less is more, my friends.
Less is so much more. And to record our products, we either use Loom, which has you get a lot for free.
Yeah, Loom is great.
And we use Descript. I think it's $30 a month. Descript allows you to also record, screen record, and then edit by transcript better than Loom.
Descript, I think, is probably a better all around. Loom is a little bit more like friendly, user friendly.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted to get in and have easy, good content, like being
Higher
able to
quality.
make higher quality, I would do Descript.
I really like
It
Descript.
took me a minute to learn it, but now it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
So easy.
I like this.
And that's really it. Like that's
And-
how we run the entire business.
I love
But
that
now
they're-
you can even make content and record on Canva.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
It's not great. I mean,
It's beginner friendly if you're just like just wanting to, get your hands dirty and start recording stuff and figuring it out. Canva and Loom are very easy to figure out.
I actually would never do with Canva. I would never do Canva because Canva glitched on me so many times.
It did.
And deleted
I
like
remember
entire
that.
30-minute modules multiple times that I
Yeah.
had recorded. And by the end of the recording, it was like, oops, I can't save this for you. And I lost hours of work. So I don't recommend
The
it.
moral of that story is that you want to choose the program that has been doing it the longest for that.
Yes.
So like Descript has been around for a while now, and they update it constantly. That is its entire job. Canva just added on that feature because people wanted it, and it's still kind of like in the beta area. So you don't really want to use the ones that are like just tacked on that feature just for fun.
yeah.
That's why Loom and Descript are kind of the go-tos for that.
So right now, all we're using is Course Creator 360, Slack, Outlook,
ManyChat.
ManyChat,
And make.
and Make,
Mm-hmm.
and Instagram.
Yeah. And then when we hire though, the two apps that we use for looking for talent that for very specific projects and objectives is either Upwork or Fiverr. We've had better look with Upwork
Yeah.
because there's a little bit more advanced.
You can filter it a lot more.
Yeah. However, what we do recommend is hiring from Upwork, but if you can pay them separately, like I would do that.
As a freelancer, you mean?
As a freelancer, and they're going to be a 1099. So anybody that you hire from Upwork is going to be a 1099, meaning you don't pay their taxes. They're going to have to manage their taxes just like we do.
And Upwork handles all of that for
But
them.
Upwork will handle all of that tax paperwork for them.
if you pay them through Upwork.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you want to do. That's the key.
Okay, I thought we wanted to not pay them up on Upwork because Upwork takes a fee and
Well,
charges extra every
Well, it
time you
does
pay
for
them.
them.
It
However,
it takes some of their earnings.
Oh,
once,
okay.
Once you've scaled, if you want to like snatch them from Upwork and you have someone doing your taxes like we do, then yeah, it makes sense for your tax person to just dual out their 1099 for them.
That's
But
a lot more complicated, though,
I
to
would,
be honest.
yeah, I would just start. I would keep them on Upwork.
On that note, though, we also have some people that we use for our business that I would recommend for anybody. We have a CPA that is like creator forward. They are very knowledgeable and used to helping with taxes for creators. And it's not something you want a creator forward one, because our CPA that we had in the past had no idea
Oh man.
how to handle. They're like, you're doing what now?
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle deductions for that or anything like that. They don't know. If it's not property tax or income tax, it's off the grid for them.
It's extremely important for you to hire any third party for anything for your business that is very familiar with creator and online businesses. It is extremely important. We learned that lesson the hard way. Like Paige said,
Yeah.
in our first year of business, we were like, oh, we'll just stick with our regular CPA. Like, why would I need to change?
Yeah.
Our CPA had no idea why we had an LLC outside of Texas. She was like, why would you have an LLC in Wyoming? That's not legit. And I was like, what? Yeah, it is. Like we haven't, our LLC is based out of Wyoming for tax purposes. And because in the state of Wyoming and Delaware, LLC protection is higher than any other state in the United States. And so it's very strategic. All of the credit card companies have their LLCs based out of Delaware primarily. And so our original CPA was like, I don't even know why you did that. And I was like, okay, I need to talk to a different CPA. So we did find a creator forward CPA, and she works with lots of creators. If
They're
you're
incredible.
Yeah, if you ever want her information, she's always looking
We'll
for
put her in the show notes.
Yeah, she's always looking for other clients. Same thing with attorneys. And now
Yes.
I will say, when you start an online business, I would recommend you getting an LLC immediately. I think it's
100%.
really, really important that you do this, and just to safeguard your business. A lot of people are always like, do I
And-
need an LLC to do
And
this?
also the self-employment tax.
Yeah. Yes. And so you can talk with a CPA. They're going to tell you about your LLC and tell you where to do that, why to do that. The other thing that you might need as you start growing is an attorney. And what we also have a creator forward attorney who is very knowledgeable in the online space.
We
And
love
she works for a lot of creators you might know.
her.
And we can also kind of put her in the show notes. She's going to come on as a guest at some point
I'm
too, and
excited
kind of
for
talk
that.
about how to safeguard your business.
She's incredible.
She's very, very
knowledgeable.
good. But you really only need attorneys for if you're selling higher ticket packages and you need like a very good terms and conditions. You need to make sure that you have like statutes for
You need
or
terms and
terms for
conditions no matter
chargebacks,
what.
disputes, stuff like that. You do need terms and conditions for no matter what. But what if you're selling like a $67 product? I wouldn't worry about spending.
We'll let her come on and give everyone like the whole lowdown on that.
Yeah, definitely. But if you ever need references for a CPA or for an attorney or anything like that, reach out to us, because we've already been through it all. We know it. And these people that we work with all kinds of creators. And I think a lot of people don't realize that they need like a creator focused CPA.
Do you remember their
That's
handles?
so important.
I don't remember their handles, but our attorney is Legal Doer. That's her
The
business
legal
name.
doer, that's right.
And then our CPA is Gregory. Is it just
Gregory something, but yeah, that's Graceland.
yeah, Graceland? I was kind of psychotic about the attorney stuff, and I wanted to make sure that everything was like sealed tight and that we were good to go. And I was very annoying about that. And Alyssa, man, she really came through for that. She was amazing.
Yeah, she's really, really good. So basically what we wanted you to know is I think a lot of people are curious about the inner workings of these businesses, especially creators who make more money. They're like, what are they actually doing? What are they actually using? That's definitely something that I've been curious about.
I'm always so nosy. I want to know what everyone
yeah.
is doing.
Because you'll see, like, they'll talk about what they're doing in content, but as y'all know, content isn't the whole story. An Instagram reel doesn't tell the whole story. So we kind of wanted to sit down and walk you through what programs we are actually using to run our business so that you can plan ahead. So you have kind of a clear picture of what your own business is going to look like, what you
And
can expect to use or
also
need.
to cut through the noise.
Yeah, and definitely cut
Because
through the
there's
noise.
so many options that people get overwhelmed. And I know that there's some courses, like you mentioned before, that give tutorials on how to use 1,000,001 programs. And you're just like, which one is the right one? I don't want to waste my money or my time. And this is us coming to you from a lot of experience and a lot of failures. And we just like to learn things the hard way. That's just, we wouldn't have it any other way.
The whole goal of this podcast is to maybe like cut some corners for you and save you from some heartache and stress and anxiety. Just learn from us. We've done it all the hard way for some reason we did it the extra hard way.
We're just extra.
And finally, 2.5 years later, we have really figured it out. We have really dialed it in, and our business is just running. So all we really focus on now is product creation. What's the next thing that we need to do to keep sales coming in? Content and sales strategy. How do we increase our average order value with every single transaction so that we're making more money but doing the same or less work, the same amount of work or less work?
That is the goal.
And we have finally figured it out. And let me tell you guys, I'm waking up some mornings and I'm kind of like, oh,
yeah, bruh.
I don't have anything to do.
You woke up at like 9 o'clock yesterday, and I had already taken your kid to VBS, and I was like, and Justin was like, yeah, Megan's still asleep, and I'm like, I've already lived 5 lives this morning.
Yeah,
and she's just like, we got nothing to do today. You're gonna record some of your course. Your mom's gonna watch the kids, and I'm like,
we'd already made $500 or $600
like,
by 9 a.m. I was like, I'm golden. I'm good to go.
I was not golden, but I was fine.
Yeah, this is the goal. This is what we're going to teach you guys how to do. Make the most amount of money doing the least amount of work, because it's extremely possible. You just have to have the right tools and the right setup to do it.
Because we don't want to live bougie. We want to live slow. So we're going to figure out everything it takes to get there.
Yeah. Fast.
Quickly.
We're going to figure it out fast so we can live slowly.
Yeah.
That's my goal for the rest of my life.
Hustle
like
fast to work slow. Live slow.
That's going to be our slogan. Live slow.
Live slow. They'd be like, are they slow?
They might be. That tism's ripping today.
It really is. You had to get it from somewheres. I don't know yet.
All right. So if y'all do have any other questions about, our tech stack, what we use technically,
That's it.
Let us know, because we can really dive into this and give you even more feedback, more help, more guidance.
We left nothing out.
Yeah, that's literally everything.
It
Oh,
reminds me of that
Insane is
meme.
messaging us right
It
now.
reminds me of that meme, the Hillary Duff one, where she's like, well, that's my life.
Just the little cartoon Hillary Duff just sitting right here.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have taken the sticker off my phone.
Oh,
I had a
yeah, you
Hillary
sure
Duff
did.
sticker cartoon on my phone,
Her
because
little
she
Lizzie
is like my alter ego as well.
All right,
Always
guys,
has been.
we'll tune in for our episode next week. We don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we'll figure it out.
Maybe you can tell us by asking us some questions.
Yeah, can someone just message us and give us a topic to talk
Tell
about?
us
Otherwise,
what
I
you
have to
wanna
come
know.
up with it again.
She works so hard.
It's exhausting.
You're mostly exhausted, like sending us this stuff and being like, what do y'all think about this? And we
And then-
never respond. And she gets very mad.
Or we take too long to respond, and then when Megan does, she's just like, don't like it.
Y'all don't even know what it's like to work with them.
Or like rework the entire thing. Like, that was good, but how about
She's
we
like,
do
who did that? We're going to do it this way instead.
Jane will call me, and she's like, I have to ask you this because Megan's going to shut it down right away.
But then y'all talk about it and you bring it to me and I still say no.
But then
we could save so much time.
And then we can overrule you 2 against 1.
But
Sometimes.
I
Anyways,
don't remember the last time.
that's it. We got off on a tangent again. We'll see you next week
Bye.
on Out of Office.
Bye.